Australia, and they sailed to England.
The flag.
Did you see the flag? There's the Union Jack right there. Look at her feet. Aren't these wonderful? It says front back, honey pot, jackknife, dolphin. Oh my goodness. She's totally invented a new sport. Wow, or a new dance of some kind. Well, when they arrived in London, they went to Soho and the Strand, to Piccadilly and the Palace, hoping to put on a show. But everywhere they went, people just scoffed. And scoffed is a word kind of like making fun. So they said it like, a girl swimmer. That's scoffing. They didn't think it was happening. Too plain, too plump, too weird, too wet, too bad. Annette remembered her mother's worries. If people saw a girl swimmer, they might talk. But maybe that was just what she needed. Maybe Annette should do something drastic to get people thinking about girl athletes. Did you know, I have a text-to-self connection, that when I was in high school back in the 1960s, girls didn't get to play anything. No, I think we had softball, and that was it. We didn't have basketball. We didn't have all these cool sports for girls to do. Girls were pretty, we were supposed to be weak and not very strong, and we just couldn't play basketball the whole way. My mom used to get to play when she was younger, but she could only go half court because girls were too weak to run all the way up and down the court. Can you believe that? We've come a long ways, huh, girls? Yeah. So let's see what Annette does to get this drastic thing going. Here we go. So Annette and her father, get this, they rowed out to the middle of the yucky, mucky River Thames. So that's the London, that's the river, okay? She dove into the murky water, and murky means dirty. Ugh. She swam, get this, kind of like Trudy, for 13 miles up the river, dodging tugs, and, oh, here's a tug, here's barges the whole way. "Lummy, you're a girl," gasped the watchman when he pulled her out. And now people were paying attention. A newspaper even asked if Annette would try to swim. Guess what? The English Channel. The English Channel separated France and England. It was 22 miles wide. Only one man and no woman had ever made it across. But we know Trudy did, but she did it later, afterwards. Oh my gosh. But that didn't stop Annette. Wow. Describe her to your neighbor. What do you think?
I can't tell you. Swimming courage or
Who would like to share a couple of describing words? Let's try Jacob.
A great swimmer.
Great swimmer. Great. Yes.
Amazing.
Amazing. What else, Sarah?
Fantastic.
Fantastic. Jade.
Never stop her.
Never stop her. She's like determined, huh? CJ.
Brave.
Brave.
Addie said
Loyal.
bravest.
Bravest.
Cool, awesome.
Cool and awesome. Well, look at this cool picture. Don't you love the way it's bumped? Annette and her father traveled to Dover to train. For the next 6 weeks, she swam from one seaside resort to another. And when the big day arrived, excuse me, Annette dove off a pier into the cold water. Splash. What kind of word is that? Onomatopoeia. She swam toward France, accompanied by a steam tug and a rowboat. Whenever she got hungry, listen to this, she slurped, I love this, she slurped chicken soup, or hot chocolate through a long snouted cup, or snacked on tiny sandwiches held on the end of a long stick. Can you guys see that?
Yeah.
So she wouldn't stop, right? Annette had outdistanced the other swimmers by a mile when she got seasick. Can you imagine in the ocean? Guys, in the English Channel is pretty rough, and she didn't make it to France. But people marveled over this young girl who had swum so far and so well. Why? She even made it look artistic. So she's very graceful. She like, she wasn't going to. She was like, can you guys swim gracefully? Gracefully, very nice. Wonderful. Okay, Well, now, guess what? All England was talking about the Mermaid Queen from Australia. And it wasn't long before Annette received an invitation to perform before royalty at London's Bath Club. Annette knew her mother would be proud. But just as she was about to go on, uh-oh, there's a but. The stage manager rushed over. He told her she couldn't possibly show her bare legs. So in those days, it wasn't appropriate for young ladies to show their legs. Oh, Annette had come so far, she couldn't let something as silly as a swimsuit get in her way. She thought fast. Now look at all the clues on this. Whisper to your neighbor, what do you think she did to solve the problem? You ready for the picture? If you don't have the picture, you're not going to understand this, so you have to look at the picture because it pushes the text. Are you ready? And then, children, splash. Go ahead and do it. Bravo! Jolly good! Such strength, such artistry. She's pretty smart too, wasn't she? What did she do? Who can tell us? Look at the picture. Okay, let's compare it to this other one right before it. Here she is. What did she do? Sophia?
Maybe she just she had that and maybe she pulled it down
Okay, she had such, looks like she kind of just stitched it togetger, huh?
Wow.
CJ, what do you think?
I was gonna say, can you go back to that other page?
The one that we just had?
Yeah.
Sure.
Do you see on the right page where the bottom is getting sewed on?
Yeah, do you see the needle and the thread and the scissors? Pretty cool
Yeah.
way to show that, huh? Didn't tell us with words. You had to figure it out with the picture. Wow. Ooh la la, c'est magnifique, Paris. After the performance at the Bath Club, word of the swimmer spread further even still. Soon Annette was racing her way through Europe. So here she is in Gay Paris, which is Paris. Then she went to Vienna. It says Wonderbar.
Wonderful.
Next, Annette was invited to America to swim at Wonderland Park in Boston's Revere Beach. That's in the United States. America, the land of the free. Annette couldn't wait. Uh-oh. I see another but coming our way. But when she arrived at Revere Beach, she was amazed at what the American ladies were wearing. Stockings and shoes. To swim in shoes? How could they even swim in shoes? Bloomers and bathing dresses and collars and corsets and caps, all for a day at the beach. Look at them. Oh my goodness. While the men and boys splashed in the surf, the waterlogged ladies could only bob up and down near the shore. How could anyone possibly swim in that? There'd be no way. Have you ever tried to swim with your shoes on?
Yep.
Let alone clothes.
Yeah.
It's hard. They're heavy, aren't they? True. My word, marveled Annette, and then she slipped on her racing suit and she dove into the water. Now, what do you think those other women and men are doing in America? They're all going, oh! They couldn't believe it, probably. Splash! The Bostonians were beside themselves. They're really upset. They screeched, they squealed, and they shrieked with terror. So they went, ah! I guess they thought she was kind of like a monster. Hey, what are you doing in that suit? Asked a policeman. And guess what? Annette was arrested. What? She was arrested. Another day, wasn't it? Your Honor, Annette told the judge, swimming is the most wonderful and healthy exercise. Why, every child in America should be taught to swim. The crowd gasped. They all went, oh! How could she say such a thing? Then Annette asked the judge how women could possibly be expected to swim in bathing suits that felt like lead chains. That's really heavy, huh? And everybody waited to see what would happen. Would Annette be banned from Boston? Means she could never come there again? Would the judge send her to jail? Whisper to your neighbor, what do you think is going to happen to her?
She's gonna pay. The judge is going to agree. I was just about to say that. So she'll eat hands.
No. No.